One of the questions that I'm frequently asked by clients is, what is the difference between a temporary restraining order and a final restraining order? And here's the difference in a nutshell. A temporary restraining order is just that. It's temporary in nature. Now, when you make your application for the temporary restraining order, that's going to work in one of two ways. You're either likely going to be at the police station requesting a restraining order, in which case law enforcement is going to be assisting you with that application. And you'll be making the application telephonically to a judge who will decide whether or not to grant you the temporary restraining order. The law enforcement officer that you're working with will coordinate that phone call. So he or she will put you in touch with the judge, and you'll tell the judge the reasons why you believe you need a restraining order. Now, with a final restraining order, what happens is there's a hearing. Both sides, it's essentially like a trial. Both sides can call witnesses. Witnesses are subject to what's called cross-examination to test whether or not a witness is telling the truth under oath. And at the end of that trial, a judge is going to decide whether or not to grant you a permanent final restraining order. And again, going back to what is the difference, temporary restraining order is temporary and depends on the outcome of the final hearing or the trial that I just described in front of the judge. And the permanent restraining order is just that. It's not going to expire. It remains in place forever unless and until the person who has the restraining order decides to voluntarily dismiss it, or the person against whom the restraining order was issued files a motion with the court, and that motion is successful, where for one legal reason or another, the judge decides to dismiss the restraining order.